I think that worked.
I think that worked.
I think we're doing it.
Dude, we're doing it. We're live.
We're back. We're
We're,
live. It's
oh
it's
my
been
God. We're live.
yeah. It's been a hot minute. We've it's gonna sound seamless to the listeners, to you guys out there, but
Which is great.
which is great. But we've taken at least a month and a half, almost 2 month hiatus. Cause life.
It's been a
It's been
while.
it's been a journey. Lots of new stuff going on. So but we're happy to be back. I'm super happy. I read these chapters and like after being away so long, really was excited to read and got into it. So very excited to be here with you.
Likewise, brother. Yeah, excited to be here. Looking forward to what we got ahead. And yeah, I think, we should start it off with a snack.
I think we should. We're gonna try to rip because I say this every time, but like these were dense and it's
Yes.
a lot of notes.
Nice.
So we're gonna try to keep the shenanigans going. I think I've let the shenanigans go to the wayside a little bit, and I've gotten a little too focused on like get through the content, and that's not fun. That's like shenanigans are half of it, and to be honest, they should probably be more than half of it.
I think, yeah, it's like it's a mixture.
Like
You keep
shards are
mixing it up.
important, but are they
Yeah.
more important than shenanigans? I don't think so.
No, I think you got to keep that in perspective. Yeah, certainly. Certainly.
So yeah, we're just gonna dive in chapter 32 with a snack. Do you want to do? I think you were doing the snacks last time, and I kind of liked it. Can you want to hit it?
I'll hit the snack.
All right, cool.
I had never received much attention from my brethren. They thought that my work and my interests were unsuitable to a world bringer. They couldn't see how my studies, which focused on nature instead of religion, benefited the people of the 14 lands.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't
World
know.
bringer.
I
Interesting.
don't remember hearing this when Sazed was going over the writing found on the steel tablet in the basement. I
Right.
don't remember this because a lot of these snacks are going to obviously align with that, as we've discovered. But I don't specifically remember this one. Especially, I feel like I would have remembered 14 lands. I could be wrong. Maybe it was part of it, but
No. I don't remember 14 lands either. And I think you're definitely onto something. I think here it's just like maybe a signal of them making progress and like transcribing the rest of it down, because I think he had like taken a massive rubbing of the whole thing, but
right.
had a lot still to transcribe over.
Yeah. Well, we've got like half a book here to go that we're probably going to get text off this thing. So
I think so.
still a lot more to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what's up with the 14 lands, and I mean we've heard Worldbringer before.
Yes.
But yeah, 14 lands is certainly new. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
Guess we'll
love
have
it.
to read and find out.
Read and find out. I think so. All right, here
Cool.
starting with Vin.
Vin, yep. So this is awkward, right? If you don't remember, we ended chapter 31 with a surprise. Lord Ashweather Sets as he's at the assembly meeting. He snuck into the city, and Vin is scanning around the room looking for others here because she knows that he can't have come alone. And she sees some men dressed in ska clothing right around Set, his bodyguards. And Vin is actually thinking, oh, Set's got to be desperate here. Like, he's gambling, came into the city, things are, I feel like she thinks here that he's kind of on his hind legs, like, on his haunches, and like,
cornered.
Like this is his last ditch effort to make something happen. And as we read, I don't think that's where we're at. So, so we're surprised. Set is crippled supposedly, and he's being carried up the dais. And Vin is convinced that he. Well, I guess we'll get to that. So he's wearing pretty plain clothing, not very fancy Luthadel clothes, and Bree says that not everyone dresses like Luthadelians. I don't know if that's how you say it. That's how I say it.
Yeah,
and
I like it.
The Luthadelians. And so Penrod says that this is all so unexpected, and asks Set if he wants to address the crowd. And Set's like, that's what I'm doing. Like, Isn't that what I'm doing? Uh, come on.
Come on.
Penrod's like, okay, here's 10 minutes. And so Set starts addressing, the assembly mostly. And, he's being very direct. He's saying he's got more soldiers. If he isn't returned safe tonight, they're going to attack and raise the city. I'm here to be made king. Make me king. And Elend questions the seriousness of all of this. And Set says, like, yes, I do fully expect you to make me king. Like, that's why I'm here. I'm very serious. And he says that his 40,000 added to Ellen's 20,000 soldiers could stop the Koloss army heading towards the city. Oh, wait, he didn't tell you? Oh, Ellen didn't tell you guys about the Koloss army coming? Oh, no, sorry, I let that one slip. So
Nice.
he's definitely got some good
intel.
He's maneuvering. And,
certainly. Yeah.
This is very strategic for him to drop this. And Ellen says, well, Set, you've got no honor. Penrod calls him a tyrant. Whispers start when Set brings all this up. And people are scared. And so Set responds by asking if Ellen was having Allomancers soothe members of the assembly during the meeting. And Ellen's, our little honest Abe here, says yes. And Vin's thinking, no, like, please no. And Tandwell just groans. She's like, ugh. And
I love it.
He's really shooting himself in the foot, dude. Like,
yeah.
I mean, but good for him for sticking to his morals, I guess. That's
see,
yeah.
Yep. I mean, I get that, dude. I get. I feel the same way. I mean, I appreciate the commitment, but shit.
Yeah, but shit. But shit. So Set asks Ellen, has he ever doubted himself? And Set's saying, like, because I never doubt myself. Like, I'm sure of my place to rule. Right. Like, you doubt yourself all the time, because that's what Ellen says. Like, of course, any man. And Set's like, not me, bro. I'm here. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And Set's deal is that he's made king. All the assemblymen get to keep their titles and their lives, which is a bit of a promotion for some of these guys.
Totally.
And all the Ska go back to working. We've got the people that work and the people that administrate. That's his desire. And Ellen says, I'm not going to let you force these people back into slavery. We're not doing that. And Set says, okay, well, I don't care about all that. I want to meet with everybody one-on-one, mano-y-mano, and I want to move into Luthadel. I've got a force of 5,000 soldiers I'll bring with me just to feel safe. And, I'll just take over one of these abandoned keeps. And, everyone can come and meet me there. And Ellen's like, well, you're just going to bribe these guys, the assembly, when they come. He's like, of course. I'm not here. Like, I'm here to win. I'm here to do it. I don't care how I do it and who I have to hurt or kill or bribe. And, people are going back and forth, assembly people, about how many soldiers he's going to bring. And Phylon, of course, advocates for Set and says, well, a monarch inside the walls would be less dangerous than having one outside, which is not true. Like, how is that true at all? Yeah, a murderer in your house is a lot less safer than having one on the outside, right? Like,
exactly.
Just let the tiger in.
Right, with 5,000
I mean, keep your enemies close, but golly. And, and so anyway, he, Set basically wants the title and the crown now. He's like, we're just going to do this thing. And Ellen says, nope, there's a process. There has to be a king first, or we have to have a unanimous decision, which obviously they're not, because Ellen doesn't want this to happen.
Right.
And so 19 of the assemblymen raise their hands and vote to let Set take up residence with 1,000 soldiers. And then it's like meeting adjourned, right? So shit's kind of hit the fan.
Oh, big time. Yeah, this is way worse.
Not good. Like, I don't think this is where I thought this was going to go when Set showed up in the last chapter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big shift. I think it's a big power play from Set, really getting into position here, and in a much better position than Straff, as far as, like, if you're thinking about competing interests towards Luthadel. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll read and find out. I think it's Oh man, yeah, he's playing very aggressive. I think you're portraying it, yeah, very well.
Well, thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we'll again, we have read and we have found out some of it, and
dude,
so
I love it. I'm loving it.
but so we get a little bit of a time warp, and people are panicking. Ellen specifically, and he can't believe what's happening, and he grabs Penrod, who's still on the stage, by the arm as everyone's leaving this meeting, and tells him, "Hey, this is insane." And Penrod says, "Hey, we have to consider all our options here." And he's very frank with Ellen. He says, "Ellen, you're a good man, but you're an idealist. You got your head in the books and in philosophy, and quite frankly, in the clouds, right?"
Yeah.
And Penrod says he has spent his whole life in politics, and he knows people. And he kind of turns Ellen, grabs him, and turns him out to look at the audience. And they were terrified, right? Like they just heard about a Koloss army. They're starving. There's 2 other armies out there. Now there's going to be 3 armies surrounding them.
Yeah.
And they're just like in the middle of this vice, right? And he says, your dreams of good do no good if these people starve and they die. And, you're talking about ideals when 2, now 3 armies are about to slaughter everyone. Right. So, Penrod still says, hey, the Lord Ruler system was perfect. Or, I'm sorry, was not perfect, but it did keep the people safe. And ideals don't do that. And between Set and Straff, he would choose Set. And they would actually probably would have done this weeks ago if Ellen hadn't stopped them from doing so. Right. And he leaves Ellen, and Ellen's here is thinking about Etev's book, which is Studies in Revolution. Viva la Revolution, Carl.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to quote what that book says here. And it quote, we have seen a curious phenomenon associated with rebel groups that break off from the final empire and attempt to seek autonomy. In almost all cases, the Lord Ruler didn't need to send his armies to reconquer the rebels. By the time his agents arrived, the groups had overthrown themselves. It seems that the rebels found the chaos of transition more difficult to accept than the tyranny they had known before. They joyfully welcomed back authority, even oppressive authority, for it was less painful for them than uncertainty. End quote. Pretty, powerful stuff.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Studies of Revolution.
He's got his head in his books, and this is what he's thinking about here, which is obviously very applicable to their current situation. So Vin says that Set is Mistborn. He's got to be. She's got no proof, absolutely none at all, but she says that him saying or acting as a cripple is the best cover up there could ever be. And Breeze is like, Finn, he's been crippled since he was a kid. He had a disease. And she's like, nope, I have no sympathy for this guy. He's a Mistborn. I think I know this. Fuck his childhood disease. Doesn't exist. And so Ellen says that they have to make a plan. And Set's son, Njorden. G.
Yeah, Njorden.
I'm going silent on the first G there.
Yeah.
He approached the group, and he bows slightly. He's about Spook's age. And he's asking, hey, what time can you meet with my father? And Ellen's like, nope, this ain't going to happen. And Njorden says, well, what about my sister that you kidnapped? Don't you want to talk about her?
Whoa.
And Ellen's like, that's not true. And Njorden shot a hostile glance at Breeze and says that Set wants to discuss it. And he also says that a combo between them could be in the city's best interest, which is true.
I think so.
And, hey, you met with Straff, basically extend the same courtesy to Set. And so Ellen agrees, and they're going to have dinner in a week. And that's the end of chapter 32.
Oh, man. What a chapter, dude. I think you really summed it up really well with Set's domineering presence over. He kind of came, he saw, he conquered, at least.
He certainly conquered, right?
At least the hearts and minds of all those assembly people.
Yep.
I'm not sure about but everything else. But yeah, dude, I loved the kind of Vin's reaction and the Bree stuff and Njorden showing up and adding a little bit of spice into the Breeze story, which I'm enjoying. Frankly, I think it's fun. It's a good time. So yeah, no, it's a good one. How about you?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, like into 31 was not expecting him to show up, and then I certainly wasn't expecting it to go this way, right? Like, were they gonna fight? Were they gonna he gonna say his piece and then they're gonna let him leave? Did not imagine they would be like, yeah, just let the guy in, make yourself at home. There's
Right.
there's some drinks in the fridge.
Yeah,
Help
exactly.
yourself.
Here's a mansion.
Yeah, so a little surprised how that all went down, and of course, Phylan certainly had a hand in all that, as we saw, and how he was behaving and the things he was saying in chapter 31.
Right.
And so, yeah, I maybe should have been expecting something more, but it definitely threw me for one. So, it's gonna set us up for some interesting chapters ahead. I know it's gonna. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm stoked. Stoked. Well, speaking about chapters ahead, I think the next one will begin with a snack.
It's a small snack.
I could probably do this one.
Just a tidbit.
As the one who found Delendi, however, I became someone important, foremost among the Worldbringers.
Yeah. So we're back definitely to what we know of the rubbing so far from the steel plate or the metal plate. What was that place called again? It's been a hot minute.
Conventicle.
The conventicle. How could I forget about the conventicle?
I was going to say conventicle. Right? It's a Sauron. I was like, it's not Sauron, but it's kind of close.
But kind of close.
Oh.
The conventicle. So we've seen this, and this is starting to go back to things we've already seen that have been etched. So not a surprise, and certainly just some good backstory, right, for Alindi. Right. So
yeah,
or Alindi and this would be Rashek here, right?
Yeah, or
Rashek's
Quan
perspective.
Is it Quan? Is it Quan? I think Quan's the one who discovers him. Rashek's
yes, Quan. Yep, Quan. Yep, sorry, Quan.
Yeah, no.
I'm getting all my
I'm here.
Ancient people.
This is what I'm here for. I got you.
Yeah, you're guiding me.
Yeah, dude. Let's do it.
It feels good. I feel secure. I feel safe.
Wings of an angel.
Shards and Shenanigans and safe spaces.
Yeah, totally.
Quadruple S. So let's jump into it. 33. Vin is studying, and she's here with Orsur. And she likes being back with her paper. She never thought she would think that, but she's excited to be here. And she's thinking about the deepness and how it's returned. And, if that's returned, doesn't that mean the Hero of Ages needs to come again?
Oh, yeah.
She's certainly questioning, am I the Hero of Ages? I mean, she doesn't come out and say it here. And she doesn't really want to admit those thoughts, but she's definitely having them, right? Like,
sure,
at some level, what does that mean for me? And she's got the thumping still in her head, and she's seeing the spirit in the mists as described in the logbook that she found. And just a little tidbit here, nothing, no big deal. She killed the Lord Ruler, and she used the mists as a power source, which no one in history has ever done. So
interesting point.
But I'm not, right? That's not. I couldn't certainly be the Hero of Ages. What are you doing, guys? Yeah. Stop it! You're being silly. So yeah, she's not admitting this to herself, and the prophecies of Terrace talk about humble origins, and she says, "Well, that could be any ska, basically, right? Anyway. We're all the same,
right.
I'm just like these guys." And, royal bloodlines, that's like half. That could be any half breed. And, most of these people, those noblemen, they really like sleeping with Skas. So,
yeah.
I mean, could be anybody else.
Yeah, could be anybody else, yeah. What if it's Zane?
Yeah, just what a silly. Yeah, bit of naivete. And so she's frustrated about all this and her notes and the deepness. And Orsur knows it. He's here with her, and she asks, hey, shouldn't a religion teach something practical and not just keep us guessing? And Orsur, so wise, love this.
Yes,
He says
Orsur's
knowledge of the future is so is very practical, and tells her not to don't dismiss beliefs because you don't understand them. And she says that she thinks the prophecies are basically just made by people trying to make a buck, right? Like
scamming everybody.
Scamming, yep. And the thumping in her head, it's getting stronger. And Orsur says, prophecies aren't necessarily a promise, but an expression of hope. And she's pretty critical of this and says so to Orsur, and he kind of turns tail a little bit. But then she owns up to it and apologizes and says, obviously I've been stressed. There's a lot going on. And there's more emphasis here again on the thumping in her head and how distracting it is, which, we're coming back to that more and more, especially in this chapter. So good to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
and,
right. Literally.
Yeah, literally. Knock, 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 knock. And so they go back and forth. There's a playful exchange about Orsur being a dog and his bad breath. And, Orsur has been watching Set's procession of soldiers and staff entering the city through the window here. They've got lots of carts. And Vin comments, oh, well, he must like to travel in comfort. And, Alrion's his daughter, after all. And she's, kind of frilly, likes what is that? Creature comforts.
Creature comforts, yeah, right.
And she asked Orsur if Khandra have a religion, and he looks at her sharply. He is like, oh, I don't think we want to be talking about that. And asks, hey, do the keepers know about your religion? And Orsur, he's kind of calling back here and says he shouldn't have spoken of such things or ideas, right? That's things he's kind of said before. And Vin tries to convince him, hey, don't be afraid. The keepers thought that the Lord Ruler managed to destroy all independent religions. And if you, the Khandra, have kept one, then the Lord Ruler's theological control wasn't absolute, which, means something.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, he kind of tilts his head like a dog would and looks at her and, maybe this isn't something he's considered before. And he says, well, I don't want the keepers asking questions. And she can understand that, and she does ask him what are their prophecies about. And I mean, just to get down to it, basically their prophecies are all about when all of the people, all of the humans are all dead and it's just Khandra left. And the story is that humans are going to kill themselves off. And he says specifically, you're of ruin while Khandra are of preservation.
Oh, and hey, what?
That humans are supposed to destroy the world using Koloss as pawns. So some interesting stuff here. And he talks a little bit of the Koloss mistreatment and how they've been forced into slavery, just basically like the Khandra have with their contract in order to survive. And, he's kind of making comparisons to, from his group to that group. They both start with K. I don't think that means anything specifically, but who knows?
Right.
And, he at this point, he abruptly stops, and he wants to be done talking about it. And then thinks it's time to go spy hunting.
Whoa.
Perspective change. So we're Elend now, and someone has poisoned the well. Oh no! Lots of people are sick, and the local healer, he's got a clinic, and it's overflowing. And Elend tells the healer, "Hey man, we got plenty of noble mansions. We ran them all out of town. Take over this noble mansion, expand your operation. Ham's going to send some soldiers with them to help him move the sick and the supplies." And there's a discussion here between Ham and Elend as to, hey, who could have poisoned this, right? Set or Straff are the two biggest, our two biggest, what would you say, culprits or...
suspects?
It's suspects, yeah. Suspect number 1 and 2 for sure. And Breeze did poison Set's supply back in the day on their way to...
good catch. Yeah, right.
And, there's no... Basically... Who's to know? Who's to know who did it?
I know it's scary though. It's scary stuff.
It's scary. It's scary. It's scary for the people, right? That's who suffers in war, right? Like it's It's never the people in power.
No.
It's just the Luthadelians.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
Luthadelians.
The ska.
The ska. Yeah, mostly the ska.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
So Ellen wants, hey, let's get some guards set up around the poison wells. We're gonna board them up, post some warnings. And he thinks, we keep getting wound tighter and tighter, and before long we're gonna snap, way before the end of the winter.
Right.
So, and then perspective change. We're back to Vin, baby, and it is time to test Doxin. And so Doxin is it's a bit of an interesting member of the crew to test, because he doesn't have allomantic powers, and we know that Chandra can not imitate someone's allomantic powers if that's the body they took over previously.
Right.
So this is going to be hard for Vin and Ursur and whoever to try to figure out. So Vin's got a plan here, and Doxin is in Straff's old personal study, and Doxin is going over and writing through ledgers, doing Doc's things, and she thinks that he's changed a lot. The loss of Kelsier has particularly hit him hard, and that they were really like the duo, right? Like Kelsier and Dox, like that was the crew. Everybody else, they're hanging out, they're around, but like that was the like dynamic duo. And specifically, she mentions that his laughter is gone, and that's, of all the things, has made her suspicious. So she approaches him, starts essentially like covertly interrogating Dox, and asks him about a combo they had before the collapse. And she's like, "Yeah, don't you remember? Like, that night, blah, blah, blah. And, that thing that you said. What'd you say again?" And, we know that this is a combo that he had basically about noble society. It needed to be wiped out. Yeah. And how all those feelings were based on the trauma of his childhood. Yeah. And that's how he views, all nobility, no matter what, are bad. And Dox, good on him, passes here, flying colors. He remembers the combo, gives Vin specifics about what he said, and he goes, "What? Why do you bring this up, Vin? Like, you thinking about you're thinking about your man, Ellen. That's all you think about, right, boys?" And says, "Hey, Ellen's a decent man, but lacks boldness and lacks present, unlike Kelsier," Vin thinks. And I think she thinks Doxin is trying to, basically compare. And you can't, right? It's apples and oranges.
Certainly. I don't know. Definitely. Yeah.
It's just not, you can't do it, right? And so Doxin can't help but see Kelsier upset with him every time he looks at Ellen. Almost like Kelsier's behind Ellen anytime he looks at him, just like shaking his head at Dox. And, him and Kelsier spent so much time planning and plotting and trying to bring it all down. Like, down with the establishment. And, killing the nobility, stealing their money, that was their way of fighting back for such a long time. And so it's very, very difficult for him to have a nobleman, Ellen, still, still around, but, specifically running, he's the man, right? He's running things now, he's in charge.
Certainly.
And, Vin tells Dox, hey, Kelsier kind of had a change of heart. He ended up saving Ellen when he was freeing those that were going to be executed in the square after stupid Ellen charged in to save Vin, who wasn't even there. Yeah. And my addition to this is this has been a year and a half ago. Has this really never come up to Dox? The chances of him not hearing that story from someone in the group, it's just, to me, unlikely.
I like it.
So the fact that we're pretending here that he's never heard and Vin's telling him for the first time, I just don't buy that. That's just me. But Dox says it's hard to believe that Kelsier would do that, and he finds it is hard to accept and says, and I quote, "Because if I accept that Ellen bears no guilt for what his people did to mine, then I must admit to being a monster for the things I did to them." End quote. And Vin here sees the guilt in his eyes, and thinking about all these murders and all the all the damage he's wrought. And Vin thinks there's no way he's the imposter. Like no Khandra can mimic that look of despair,
regret,
and it's an interesting thought that he has here.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, it's very interesting. I think he, in some ways regrets what him and Kel had done, because I think he's come to like Ellen more than he's willing to admit to himself.
Yeah.
At least in this case.
Yeah, I think so. Admit to himself or to anyone else, right? Like, we saw him open up a little bit to Ellen and, crack a smile very recently, but I agree with you. But through all this, Doxson says he wouldn't change a thing. I would have done it all the exact same way. And then we get a small time warp, and Vin says to Ursur that they've left, and she says to Ursur here that Dox isn't the Khandra, and he's like, "Well, are you sure? Khandra are very thorough before taking over a body."
Yeah.
And Vin says, "Well, I might have told Ellen about that conversation I had with Dox all that time ago, and oh yeah, I might have actually told Sazed too about that convo from last year." And Ursur says that's enough. They repeat it to someone, it's overheard. That's it, man. That's all it takes. And a interesting tidbit that Khandra's masters will often torture the future body that the Khandra will be taking over for info on them before the master kills that person for the Khandra to take over. So my question to you is, did Kelsier, did he torture the body that Ursur took over for everything? Lord Renown.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's capable. I think he would be capable of it, certainly. Yeah, no, I think him and Dox, I think that could have been even maybe one of the things that is scarring him, one of the probably many war crimes that they committed. But, Sanderson makes you love him, even though they do some fucked up stuff. Yeah, no, I know. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, it's good. Oh, it's a good part here. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah. So yeah, we're with Vin. We're with Ursur, and Vin doesn't know how to be sure here about Dox anymore because again, he's not an Allomancer, and she takes off her mother's bronze earring and twirls it, and we have a lot of focus on this thing.
Interesting.
It's obviously been with her since the beginning. It was like the only thing she had with her in Cayman's lair. It's like the only personal property. And I just feel like it's mentioned enough that I feel like it has a bigger role to play in some capacity. I just don't quite know what that is yet. Yeah. But Vin hates distrust now. Yeah, she used to love distrust. That was her MO. Right. I mean, maybe not love it, but she lived it, that was what she did.
I'd say so, yeah, for sure.
Hi, my name's Vin, and I distrust people. Yeah. And, she doesn't want the Khandra to be any of them, any of the crew. She doesn't want to live life with the fear of having to distrust someone that she's come to love and admire and respect and work with so intimately and closely. It's very sad to see her go through this struggle because, not only is someone that you love, they're, you're being played by them, but they're dead too.
Yeah,
right? It's dead. Not just once we find the Khandra, it's Dox. Oh man, no, Dox is dead. That's just Dox's skin, bro. That's it. Sad. So, it's sad, but. Ursur's surprised to hear her say this, and he says that he thought humans had lacked the capacity for trust based on the things that he has seen, and he is sorry that one of his kind is bringing Vin pain. Okay.
Wow.
Thanks, Orsor. Tells her that, hey, like, this person is only following their contract. This Khandra, like, it's nothing personal for them.
Right. Yeah, certainly.
They're just doing what they do. And Orsor's very likely to know actually who the Khandra is. It's a very tight-knit community.
It's interesting.
And, Vin's like, okay, well, let's move on from Dox, as something else conveniently catches her eye. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know about all this. But she sees someone moving through the courtyard below, moving suspiciously, uncomfortably, not wanting to be seen. And Vin orders Orsur into her arms, and she leaps out of the window with him and lands on a coin down below. And she recognizes the man. Captain Dumo!
Captain Dumo!
Dumo!
Yeah, exactly.
Dumo!
Yeah, exactly.
And so Captain Dumo, she starts thinking about how Dumo, hey, he's not well known, right? Like, he kind of joined the group somewhat recently, just in the last couple years.
Yeah.
And, who better for the Khandra to take over? Someone that's close to the crew and is in some high, like, high
esteem,
meetings.
high esteem, and
he's
the one that Kelsier helped in that battle with his sword, like against that huge dude.
Yep, in the caves.
Camps, in the caves, dude, the training caves. Yep. Dumo. Okay, all right.
Dumo. He's close to the crew, but he's not the core. And she thinks that's it, right? Like, that's who I would take over if I was going to do this.
I think she also wants it to kind of be that to some degree as well.
Yeah, right? Yeah, for sure.
Post of
and again, that's what I'm getting at, right? Like, she's on the hunt. She thinks it's not Dox. Then her conversation with Orsor makes her unsure again. And then, who's a convenient scapegoat? The next person that she sees, literally. Like,
pretty much.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Demo enters a side entrance to the keep, says hi to some guards there, and Vin thinks, oh, he looks anxious, like he's hiding something, and like she's already convinced herself he's the spy, and like he could have been out getting some like. Getting laid or something, right? Like, he had a lady friend.
Good for him. Good for him.
Like, good for him. Yeah. And, like, he just kind of feels awkward about it because, it's, he's got needs, too.
Yeah.
We've all got needs. Dumo needs some...
Dumo needs to go, and that's good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway. And then that's the end of the chapter. That's into chapter 3. 33.
Shenanigans. I mean, I think this chapter, Shards and Shenanigans, certainly, like,
sure.
it's covering the gambit, and I'm really happy to say that.
I am too. So, what'd you think?
Oh man, great chapter. I loved the just like I enjoy getting to spend time with Dox. I miss Kelsier. He's a kind of a crazy character, but he was a lot of fun, and so he it's kind of nostalgic every time you're hanging out with Dox. You're thinking about the Kelsier days, and to get him, almost cleared, and then all the things we learned, the world building with Orsur was really awesome.
Yep.
What did you think about all of that? And I think that was some pretty dense and awesome stuff, though. I love it.
Yeah, the religion aspect to the Khandra is something that's fun to dive into. I think also something that gets glanced over because it's such a short part of the chapter is who's poisoning the wells.
Right.
Like,
the Alan stuff.
Maybe it's Demo, right? Like,
well, where was he?
He's sneaking back in, right? Where was he? So I think the idea that it's got to be Set or Straff is a little naive again.
Short-sighted.
I don't know if it's just the juvenile nature of these actual children that are running this empire, or if it's
fair.
But it could be anybody. It's fine.
Yeah.
It could be Phylan, maybe Penrod, who we all think's kind of a good guy. Maybe I don't know.
Hard saying.
hard saying, not knowing. It sounds like you're stacking what I'm splitting. So.
Oh my god! Yes, dude. All day, all day. Enough said. I got nothing else to say. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, good chapter, but I think on to more snacks. It's snack time. Hit me with it. 34.
Call me the snack man. There was a place for me in the lore. Hey, snack man. Well, there was a place for me in the lore of the anticipation. I thought myself the announcer, the prophet foretold to discover the hero of ages. Renouncing Alendi then would have been to renounce my new position, my acceptance by the others. So, I did not.
So, again, we've seen this before. It's something that was taken from...
Yeah, we know this.
From the text. We know it. But I think it certainly... and maybe we've already talked about this. My memory's shit. But...
It's all good.
You know, if Vin ends up being our new hero of ages... You know, someone's going to have to be the announcer, right? Like, it's told
okay. So there's another...
The lore of the anticipation. So, like,
nice,
you know, obviously... I think you've got a couple candidates. I think Sazed would be a stellar candidate for. I mean, he likes to go against the grain of, you know, the order of
the keepers
of the terrorists. You know, like
yeah.
But another person that I think that really sees Vin, Tinwell.
Oh, true, yeah, and I think. Sees Vin in different ways. I mean, I think helps Vin in different ways than Sazed does, and maybe can, you know, and not in a bad way to Sazed, but just that's the nature of their relationship, which is cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, no, I dig that. All right, cool. So those are our candidates then for announcers. I mean,
there's some candidates, right?
Yeah.
I don't maybe and like it seems like it has to be. I mean, the terrorist prophecies say that there's going to be an announcer, and like. It kind of makes it seem like it's someone of terrorist descent, not necessarily just anybody can be the announcer. So, I mean, those are the two terrorists I know.
Right. Yeah, those are the two we know. We know any other ones. Can't pull over any further. Well, yeah. Oh man, it's a good one,
dude.
Well, I'm ready to dive in. Hey,
thanks for that snack,
dude. You're welcome, bro.
Thanks. But it wasn't enough.
Dude, no, never.
I need a meal.
Well, you know, that's what we're serving here on Shards and Shenanigans.
We're serving them up. I just, whatever reason, just felt of, like, Guy Fieri being like, and they're serving it up, you know, whatever style. On diners, drive-in times.
Shenanigans style.
Shenanigans style. Yeah, if we ever open a restaurant, we have to serve have a burger or something, or
secret menu,
or maybe a glizzy that's like shenanigan style.
Oh, both.
Yeah, you got. It's actually one dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hot dog with a hamburger patty as the bun. Oh my god,
this is the new logo.
Shenanigan. Yeah, be on the lookout. Yeah, we'll have to AI that one for sure. No one's making that for us.
The burger glizzy, shenanigans style.
All right, 34. So Elend, he's back to the drawing board. He's hanging out here with Sazed and Ham and a newcomer, Noordan. And they're going over some books and the law and anything that they can come up with for an idea on how to get out of this pickle that we're in. And Noordan is a scholar and was once an obligator, and he wears large glasses trying to hide his face tattoos. But you can't hide them.
Can't hide those.
Can't hide those. We haven't... I don't think they've invented laser removal yet.
Not that I know of.
You know, but...
For life.
For life. Yeah. Yep, obligator for life. I'm obligated. And so Tinwell, she's there too, but she's not studying. That's not her thing. She's just hanging. And Ellen's thinking about how Ham, he might be a philosopher, but he's not a scholar. And like, we've seen this before from Ellen. Ellen's not a philosopher. Like,
Yeah.
or a scholar. Like yes, you've read a lot of books, but like you just I don't know. He holds himself to such high esteem in that category sometimes, and I just want to like slap him because like things aren't really going your way right now, are they, buddy? Like
No, yeah, certainly not.
you know,
Yeah,
I don't
certainly
know.
not.
Anyway, so
Elland.
OL. So he's thinking about how he messed up his rescue attempt of Vin at Credit Shaw in the past, and how that is now a metaphor for his whole life, and that he's basically rarely delivered in the past, but that's gonna change. And it all changes like that, like and it starts now. You know, like he's going through it, and so Norden has found some info on Set. And Set is actually more involved in Luthadel than all of them have thought. They found some ledgers here, and Norden chuckles here. I think this is something important to talk about. And Ellen had never met a cheerful obligator.
Yeah, right.
Just I thought that was a fun tidbit. And the ledgers that he's going over indicate that Set had done a lot of trading through a lot of fronts. That he had set up, that he had a bigger hand in the trade and in the politics than it seemed in Luthadel. And he wanted to appear unconnected, but it does appear that he's actually far more accomplished in Luthadel politics than anyone thought. And Ellen's like, yeah, I mean, look at how he manipulated the assembly into just letting him stay in the city. And like,
right.
you know, he was pretty suave. And so Norden laughs here and says, like, you guys should have seen your faces when he did that. And Ellen's like, hey, man, why don't you just focus on what you're doing? Like, instead of making fun of us, why don't you just get back to work? How's that sound? And I was like, dang, that's savage. Shout out Norden.
Yeah.
So Seiza tells Ellen he's done a very good job with the law, and there are very few things that they have found that could even prevent Set's appointment should the assembly choose him. Like, it's Ellen has this buttoned up pretty good. And Norden asked, oh, too competent for your own good? Again, Norden is, I kind of like the guy. Like, he's kind of growing on me, you know, for an obligator. Like,
for an obligator, certainly.
And Ellen says that, like, hey, yeah, that's a rare, like, being too competent for my own good's a rare problem for me.
Yeah, right.
And Norden, again, kind of like him, is like, how bad would it be if we just let Set have the throne? Just throwing that out there. That's an option. And Ellen's actually not mad here. I like this. He likes that Norden has different viewpoints. That's part of why he like lets him hang around.
Right.
And Ellen goes into his laws and says that Set will just do what he wants when he gets here. He's going to ignore our laws. He's going to rule by chaos. And we get a little tidbit from Ellen here that Set's homeland and the places that he has conquered since the collapse are all in turmoil. He's got these like half alliances and half treaties and these threats of invasion, and like that's kind of barely keeping what he's conquered so far together. And basically, if he gets Luthadel, like we're just going to be setting ourselves up for another collapse. Right. And so I thought we hadn't really seen that yet, at least that I remember or recall. That like, you know, he was presented to us as like, yeah, he conquered all the West, you know?
Right. Yeah, we didn't get the inside info on the actual, you know, because yes. There's the story you're told, and then there's, you know, that what's actually going on.
Right.
I think that's a lot of what Norden is shedding some light.
It's good background on Set and his capabilities and what's actually going on. Yeah, exactly. And Norden, you know, he hears all this from Ellen, nods thoughtfully, and goes back to his work. And Ellen thinks, I can convince him. Like, I can convince Norden. And Ellen, I think, is a fool here for thinking because he thinks, well, I didn't know that the assembly would have so many different ideas than what I had. And, like, again, that's just like,
naive,
oh, yeah, man, those books really helped, didn't they? Like, yeah. I want to slap him sometimes, man. Gosh,
he's
such
very
a naive little...
He's pretty young, but yeah, I know for sure. It's definitely showing. He's got a lot to learn.
It's showing. So Ellen's deflated and says, like, you know, hey, maybe we should have just conceded long ago and given the city up. That's what the people want. And Sazed says, love this. Sazed's, again, our number one man. He's the best here. And he says, like, it isn't your duty to do what the people want. Like, you must be true to the man that you want to become. And if people don't like that, they can just choose someone else. And, like, this all finally clicks for Ellen. Like, Sazed's finally brought it all together. And, Sazed says, trying to guess what people want from you will only lead to chaos. You can't please everybody. Right. And, like, this is when, like, it's starting to kind of click for him that, like, hey, yeah, like, I could just rule. Like, I could just do me.
Yeah.
So, it's, I love that. But, Vin pops in here. She can't believe there are more books in the room than the last time she was there. And she hops onto a stack, and her mist cloak starts to drip from, like, the mists outside onto the books, onto the pages. And Ellen actually admonishes her. And, Vin's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, Sazed says, like, it's a Mistborn thing to want to be up high. Sorry. And then perspective change to Vin in the room. So that's kind of cool. Like, switching perspectives, staying in the room, and she's watching all these people work. And, hey, she's like, hey, Ellen, hey, I've discovered that people are getting sick. And, I think someone's messing with our supplies. And, of course, Ellen's already aware. And he tells her, oh, yeah, we found some wells. Like, we know. And Vin doesn't take this so good.
She's
like, well, he, like, I thought I had something. And, but he already knew about it. But he didn't tell me. But he said he thought he did. Which is, this is playing out like every conversation I've ever had with my wife. And he apologizes and he kisses her to just, like, make up for it. And it's like, I know that's not how you do that, and that's not gonna cover it there, and she thinks exactly here what a kiss is supposed to make it okay. And, like, I put in my notes LMFAO because, like, that's so real life. Like, some dumb dude being like, oh, I'm sorry. And, like, bro, that's not cutting it. Like, you fucked up. So she's feeling a little useless. He would have normally asked her for help and, like, how to handle it and, hey, can you take care of that? But he handled it all on his own, right? He's growing up. And, Ellen says that the only way around, like, what's going on with the assembly is to misinterpret his laws, and he's not going to do that. And Sazed says, you're a good man, your majesty. And Vin, that she pings that, sees that, catches it, and she's like, oh, like, he never would have let people call him that in the past. Like, he's changing. Right. And Tyndall here, she's a smart cookie. She hears that and says, oh, Sazed, so you actually read the law before it was finalized? And I put in my notes, got him. Got him. And so Ellen, God love him, and this is what Tyndall told him to do, comes to bat for Sazed and says Sazed was actually instrumental. And Tyndall says, I see. And she, like, purses her lips. And then I'm just going to quote this because I think it's the best. So, quote, Ellen frowned. Tyndall, you were not invited to this meeting. You are suffered at it. Your advice has been well appreciated, but I will not allow you to insult a friend and guest of my household, even if those insults are indirect. I apologize, Your Majesty. You will not apologize to me, Ellen said. You will apologize to Sazed, or you will leave this conference. And Tyndall sits for a minute. Then she stood and left the room. Ellen didn't appear offended. He simply turned back to writing his letters. End quote.
Yeah.
Bro. God damn, Ellen.
That's good.
What a savage. I loved that. That was, number one, standing up for your best bro. Like, your number one homie. Yeah. He's our number one. Ride or die, Sazed.
Yeah.
Like, we protect Sazed at all costs.
Yeah, we like Tyndall, but
if Sazed dies in these 3 books, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. Because he is precious.
Man. He's very precious. So, well, we got to read and find out, Kyle. I love you, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. But, like,
I agree with you. Sazed is precious.
Godly, anyway. So Sazed says, hey, you don't have to do that. And Ellen says that he will do as he wishes, and that Sazed has a history of people, of letting people treat him badly, and he's not going to stand for that. And that she didn't just insult you, she insulted me as well. And Vin is back to thinking how quickly he's changing, right? He never would have done that. And it's only been 2 months since she's been here, Tinwil. And that, like, he's so firm and that he demands respect now. Like, he's really growing into this role. And Vin tried to bring up the deepness, and Ellen says that he doesn't really have time right now. And, God, he's just shooting himself in the foot. And Vin thinks, like, well, he doesn't have to really rely on people, and he doesn't need me anymore. And she knows he loves her, but he left her once before. This was, back at kind of what that would have been that was the night that she killed
Shan?
Shan. And knows that, like, he doesn't need her anymore, that's her fear, and she knows he loves her. He left her once before, and it nearly crushed her. And then we got an old friend back. Good to see you, Reen. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Leave him first. It will hurt less.
Wow.
Bump, bump, boom.
Reen's back. Yeah.
Reen is back again. And Vin's head. Talking shit.
Talking shit.
So that's not good. And Vin heads out, and Ellen asked her to, hey, while you're out, check out Set's defenses for me at Keep Hasting. That's where he's posting up. And she flies out the window, and looky who we've got here, Mr. Zane. And he's waiting for her, but he's not just waiting for her. He's standing sideways on the wall outside, like, just full, oh, hey, Vin, how are you? Super impressive. He's very powerful. We get it. You're good. And he immediately attacks her. He's got knives coming out. They're way too close to her throat. And, like, at first she's kind of like, oh, we're sparring? That's kind of intense for a spar, but okay. And she kind of gets in the zone and starts to come at him, but he starts to dodges her, grabs her wrist, and she's like, oh no, that's way too fast. He's using ATM. And she's terrified here, because guess who doesn't have ATM? We know it. It's Vin. Yeah. And he has her dead to rights here, right? He's going to know every move that she has or is going to make before she could ever make it. He throws her down on the rooftop. Vin doesn't want to be beaten this way. Trapped. That's her whole thing, right? And he is standing kind of over her, and he's motionless. And he realizes that she isn't burning the ATM, and that they don't have the stash. And he says, like, he basically asks this, and she confirms it, and she tells him that, hey, I used the last of it to fight Set's assassins. And then we got a perspective change, baby, right to Zane. Getting in the mind of a killer. Zane watches her and says, Straff wants me to kill you. And he thinks his spy was right, that there's no ATM to be had here. And Vin says, well, why let me live? And he gets on his high horse here again. He isn't sure. Says he might still kill her, but he doesn't have to. Actually, who I love, like, would be a great comparison for just that one line?
Who?
Our commander-in-chief, Donnie J.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Donnie T.
Yeah.
Well, I might still, but I don't have to, but I might.
Right. Yeah, I take the honor of doing that.
Yeah. So could just, he's like, I could just take you away, which is, like, pretty presumptuous. Like, I'll just go, kidnap you? And then he's like, well, yeah, but, like, you could do it on your own. Just, like, come with me. We could leave with the nice Straff and Ellen, their tools. We could be free. Dobby is a free elf, and she tells Zane, this isn't what it looks like. I love Ellen, and he thinks here, and I quote, and you think that means you can't feel anything for me? What of that longing look in your eyes? End quote. And, he thinks also, what else should I have expected than this? And he says it makes sense. It's always been this way. And Vin's like, well, what are you talking about? And then God, back in his head, says, kill him. Now, who is he talking about here? Because Vin is a lady. She's the lady of the night. Not that way. Not the way that you guys are thinking. But she is. And he says, God says, kill him. Or is it Straff? Like, who are we supposed to be killing? I don't know. Is that interesting?
It is interesting. I think it definitely is
because he would have said like kill her.
Yeah, no, definitely kill him. God wishes. Well, I think right before it says kill him, you get like.
You think it's Elend?
Elend, yeah, and I think it's like get him out of the way. Well, at least that's how I read it.
Okay, all right.
Because
I respect that.
He's like Elend, and then God is like kill him. Because I do think God's never said to kill Vin.
Okay.
To this point, right? At least because that would be a deviation from the normal, at least that we've seen.
Yeah. I don't know what God wants, man.
No, but Zane at least hears about it.
But Zane does. Yeah. Zane's got a burning bush in his head.
What does Zane say?
And so Zane rips the Band-Aid off here, right? Oh, yeah. And says, "Can't you see the resemblance? The nose, the face. He has longer hair than I, but who else would Straff trust as a Mistborn?" And Vin's shook here, right? Like, you're his son, Elend's brother. She knows now. And Elend doesn't know Zane, he says. But again, as we know, more children equals more Allomancers. More Allomancers equal more chances of a Mistborn son to be your assassin.
Right.
And, Zane talked about growing up in the shadows, ignored, watching Elend growing up in comfort. And Vin knows Zane must hate Elend.
Right.
And he says specifically here, hate? No. Can't hate a man for what he is. Elend doesn't even know me. I might envy him, but I don't hate him.
Yeah.
And he has everything, wink, wink, but doesn't appreciate it. He's talking about Elend here. Elend has everything.
But talking about Van. Yeah, exactly.
But doesn't appreciate you. He doesn't appreciate you like I could, girl. Let me holler at you. And so Vin says...
He's Bruce Springsteen over here. Yeah. Hey, now, baby, it's your daddy home.
Yeah.
Trying to take your girl.
So Vin says, I'm sorry to Zane, which, good on her. And Zane, he doesn't like that. He says, don't pity me. And don't you think a man better appreciates love when he's been forced for so long to go without it? That was a quote. Sorry. Should have said quote. And yikes, right? Like, dude, I don't know that that's true. It kind of makes you sound crazy, Zane. If God talking to you in your head wasn't our first clue, that wasn't a great one either. And Zane says he came here with a warning that Straff let hundreds of refugees, through his camp and pushed them towards the city, and that the Kolos army attacked and pillaged the town of Suisna, which is only a day away from Luthadel. And they went to Straff for help, these people. Straff sent them on to the city. And Vin knows that this was to make the city more afraid and drain their resources even more. And Zane says that he wanted to give her a warning about the refugees and of his orders, and tells her, think about my offer. And he tells her, hey, Elend might love you, but he doesn't understand you. And if you leave him, it's going to be better for you and for Elend. And then he jumps away. He jumps away, flies away, just, really toys with her emotion, and then just, like, all those teenage boys, just into the night, jump off he goes.
It doesn't kill her.
But could see from Vin's eyes that she still didn't believe him about Elend. And he thinks that, well, proof is coming, and she's going to see. And she's going to soon understand what Elend Venture truly thought of her. Bum, bum, bum. End of chapter 34.
Damn.
It's kind of an intense chapter.
I think it was pretty intense. I think a lot of character building for Zane in terms of, like, his backstory, a little bit more of his childhood. And then, obviously, like, you called out the Vin reveal for him, and that kind of, like, being probably a big shock to her. But, like, almost in an ironic way, makes a lot of sense. obviously she's like attracted to Ellen somewhat, in whatever way, and so easy to be attracted to this, Ellen dark version, Ellen werewolf versus Ellen vampire. I don't know.
Got a little Twilight up in here.
Yeah, just playing. But no, man, I think a lot of people, the internet's very torn on the triangle, what's going on here, and I think I don't know. I think it's good that Vin is exploring, what she wants, and I also think that it's also, I don't know, Zane's like a bad influence, but it's kind of tempting her. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know, right? Like you get with your high school partner, and it's like that's the only person you've ever known. Like, what if there's other fish in the sea that float your boat?
Yeah, you don't know. Hard saying, not knowing. Yep. So then sometimes what's good for you is really good for you. So you figure it out anyways. But at least myself included. But yeah, great chapter. How about you?
Yep. Yeah, it was good. I loved getting to see again Ellen being a little more sure of himself. As we've certainly discussed, and I think everyone on this podcast that's listening has heard me. I have some serious Ellen hate. I mean, apologies to the guy, right? I'm trying my best to. I do think he is sincere and his heart's in the right place, but he's such a fool sometimes. So it's
certainly
cool to see him lead a little bit and kind of step into those shoes and into that role. So I do like that a lot, and I liked him kind of putting standing up for Sazed.
I loved that myself as well. I was glad you had a similar reaction.
It's fantastic. And then this whole last thing with Zane, I don't know if she's gonna go off with him, but I do believe she is gonna run off to go to the north towards Terrace, towards the thumping in her head, right? And so, who better than go on this journey while Ellen has to protect the city than another, a misty boy, if you will, if you will. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh man, I love it. Well, cool. Well, heck yeah, buddy.
Well, I mean, I think. Do you hear that? Snack.
Well, this is it's another short one, but I think I'll snack this one.
Hit me with it.
But I do so now. Let it be known that I, Quan, Worldbringer of Terrace, am a fraud. And a snack. I don't know. I think this this whole sheet is him kind of confessing his great, fraud. His great confession is on this wall. I don't know. I think it's interesting to see. Otherwise,
I do too.
That snack's a snack. We're ripping it this chapter.
We are ripping it. I think this is the last chapter for this episode, so we'll just consider it dessert, and it's a big one.
Big dessert, yeah. Oh yeah,
big dessert.
Ice cream sundae.
We're gonna cruise through this right along, chapter 35. So
we like balls.
We do like balls, and Vin, I put it in my notes. She's balling.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. She's balling, dude.
She's dressed up for her din-din.
Yeah, that's right.
For her meal, right? And so, pardon, she's wondering what it might be like to be herself for once. Not Valette, not the Lady Valette, not even Vin, the Ska Thief, just genuinely her. And I put in my notes, thanks, Zane, right? She wouldn't probably be thinking this if she didn't just get attacked and then, asked out by the same guy.
Totally.
And she's got no jewelry on. Ellen has sold all of her jewelry to feed refugees. Very noble. I like that. But Tyndall says that most women need jewelry to spruce them up, but you don't.
Dang.
You don't need the jewelry because you are. What is she? She's balling.
Balling. We like balls.
Balling. Love them.
Yeah.
And
it felt like she was going to a ball again. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Ben notices all the jewelry on Tinwell.
Quote.
And that they're made of purely ferrochemical metals. And Tinwell hasn't seen Ellen today and says that he almost doesn't need me anymore. And Vin asks if he is gonna is he there? Is he like all these other dudes in your biographies? And Tinwell just laughs, but then she does say, being a good leader really just actually comes from experience, right? Like she can lead him to water, but then he needs to have some experience, drinking it. And so says, quote, "A man can only stumble for so long before he either falls or stands up straight," end quote. Beautiful. Love that. Very wise. These Terrace wise fellers and gals.
Yeah. I'm a
like
fan.
it a lot.
I love them.
So Vin looks in the mirror, says, "This is who I have to become for him." And Tyndall agrees, but says for her too. You have to become this for yourself. And that's where you were heading before you got distracted. So I don't know. That's interesting.
I think so too.
That's interesting. I don't know.
I don't know. Either. What don't you know? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I think it's just going back to maybe Tidwell being the whatchamacallit?
The announcer?
The announcer.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm
that's kind of what I'm getting from that kind of.
I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Yeah.
Nice. Smells
so
good.
Little small time warp, and Ellen is waiting in the courtyard with 200 soldiers as escort to go to Sets for dinner. And Ham's with them, and Spook is here. He's acting as Ellen's coachman, and Breeze is there too, but Breeze doesn't really want to go. And Ellen notices this and kind of casually, not even really thinking much of it, says that, well, if you don't want to go, don't go. And Breeze jumps on that. And tells Ham and Set, tells Ham that Set is going to be more amiable without him there, which is probably true,
Yeah, I think so.
And Ellen talks about, hey, we're going to be outnumbered 5-1. And Vin, actually, of all people, says, "Oh, I've got it covered. I've been practicing."
Oh.
And so that's pretty, check out the balls on Vin. You know what I mean?
We like
she's
balls.
balling.
She's balling, dude. Yeah.
And so Keep Hastings is glowing again, and Vin feels that it looks right after being so long derelict. And Ellen is excited to be riding with her and going to a dinner dressed up, because lads would traditionally pick up their ladies to go to these balls, and they never actually had a chance to do that together, or really even dance together. And so Vin asks if, hey, you ever think we're going to have balls again? And Ellen says, well, how could we dance when people are starving? And Vin's like, well, you did it before, buddy. But then she then, she comes and says, oh, he's come a long way, blah, blah, blah. And this is the part that I think is kind of hysterical. She says, oh, there's got to be a way to have both. And, basically invents a fundraiser. She invents fundraisers. in this universe or this world.
They just got this got crowdfunded.
They just got so exciting time in history. We've got canning and now fundraisers.
That's pretty good. I'm here for it.
It was pretty funny to me when she talked about that. But so they get to Sets. Dumo here, he's actually with them as well, among Ellen's guards. And then she's got her eyes on him. She's wary, not ready to pounce on him yet. He's not. I gotta have a little more evidence. Blah blah blah. But now's not the time.
No.
And so they walk in. Sets are already eating. Basically calls them out on being late. Says yeah, I started. You're late. And Ellen's like,
I love that personally.
it was well, and that's the whole thing, right? He's so straightforward. He tells you how he sees it, what he wants. Yeah, he's telling you some lies too, but he's confident, and he's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And Ellen asked, "Hey, why are we here?" And Set said, "Well, I thought dinner with you could be interesting. Something different." And Ellen asks if it is about his daughter, Alarian, and Set just laughs and tells Ellen, "You can keep the silly thing. The day she ran off was one of the few joys I've had in recent, in the recent past." And I was like, "Dude, savage! What a savage!
Yeah, this dude's a savage.
So Set knew Breeze was a part of Kelsier's crew. He reveals, and that Set tried to turn Breeze, and when he couldn't, he tried to kill Breeze, and that's when Breeze hightailed it out of camp and Ben saved him. And I think here he says like Breeze is hopeless or like useless, whatever, with women. And like, do you think, and maybe this is too, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this, but like, do you think he's calling Breeze gay?
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't that interesting? Like, because we have this, I feel like, understanding, or maybe like we've built up this idea of Breeze as being almost like this bachelor partier, maybe ladies man, but like, have we ever even seen him with a lady? I don't know.
Just Ariane, like in terms of her affections for him and
right
and things like that. But whether or not that is authentic remains interesting.
Not that obviously not that it matters for anything, but I think that would be an interesting. It would be like an interesting addition for his character.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think so too.
I don't know. So, Set is toying with Ellen. They go back and forth about right and wrong, and Set, eventually says, "Well, no comments from the Mistborn." And he asks Vin here, and Vin says that he swears a lot, and he's not supposed to do that in front of ladies. LOL. And Set, he gets down to brass tacks, and he tells Ellen that he's got two options: get assassinated, or step down, vote for me, and then I'll let you live. And so, either way, either of the options, the assembly gets dissolved. People are going to go back to how it was before. And Ellen brings up how the assembly gives people power, and Set says, and I kind of actually like, he's got a little bit of, I think, a good grasp on this here, probably just in the wrong way. He says, like, that's all fine and dandy when things are good, but when things are bad and there are armies on the doorstep, like, you need a strong single leader, right? Like,
right.
And like, yeah, you do need someone to be in charge. Like, I agree with that, but like, obviously it's better to have that person be someone that the people have chosen.
Oh yeah, certainly. I think that's very important. Yeah, at all times.
Yeah. So Ellen won't accept the Scott, like, be enslaved again. Tells Set, hey, like, the assembly, they're gonna choose me. And Ellen just kind of moves to leave, but Set admonishes him and is like, sit down, boy, and like, let's talk about this Atium. And I kind of like, it's almost like a fatherly, like, Straff thing there to be like, okay, don't be juvenile, like, sit down, we're having dinner, like, don't
make a statement, like and leave.
And so Set is like, I've got canned goods and your people are starving. It's a modern marvel. I can trade you some for Atium. And Ellen just laughs here. Set's confused. Why is he confused? The rumors. He said, Bree said, and then, oh yeah, Bree spread those rumors, Ellen said. And Set says, well, no, Bree's trying to keep me away. He didn't want me to come here. And Breeze basically thought Set only thought that Breeze was only there to spy. And then Set has a big old laugh here. Breeze got him, right? Like, they kind of misunderstood each other and misunderstood, I guess, what each other was doing or wanting. So Kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Set, as we're wrapping up here, says that the people will get his food if he becomes king, but that until then their suffering is Ellen's burden, not his. And then she's on the lookout for some allomancers in the room. She turns off her copper, burns some bronze. There's no copper clouds to pierce. There's two men burning pewter. They are pretending to be like staff servants bringing plates. And there's a tin eye in the next room over listening in, but nothing else. And this kind of surprises her. And Vin's thinking about her copper cloud piercing ability and thinking about what other secrets the Lord Ruler hid. And that like he knew about the darkness and tried to warn them. And before she goes further, Vin admonishes herself for getting distracted and doesn't really know why that keeps happening. Probably because you got a random thumping in your head and I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah. You got Chumbo Woman playing in your head?
Yeah.
Pissing the night away.
Sing it. And so Ellen is explaining, she tunes back in. He's explaining everywhere they search for the ATM, and he's assuring Set that there is no ATM in the city. And Set says, well, basically now there's no reason to hold Ellen a ransom. And Ellen says, like, well, I'm not even king. Plus, if you hold me ransom, you're just going to make the assembly mad. And Set just laughs and goes, suppose I'll have to let you go then. End of chapter 35.
Oh, man. I love this chapter. I think,
tell me why you love it.
Learning more about Set's really interesting, and like kind of seeing him kind of expose more of his prowess in a more personal setting is kind of fun. He's definitely like kind of gross, very typical, like noble as well. Like you don't really like him that much. Like I'm not a fan if he's gonna like crush the sky or anything like that. But it's exciting to see him kind of interact in this space. Very risky kind of move he's doing.
Okay, I'm on board for that.
How about you?
Yeah, I keep forgetting that he's handicapped, supposedly, and that he's a cripple.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's
totally.
obviously sitting here, so that's.
I didn't think about it though the whole chapter really.
Yeah, I didn't either till just now. So that's something to consider. I do like thinking about Vin creating the fundraiser. But I mean,
yeah.
It is interesting that I just again that dynamic. I think that Ellen had with Set a little bit, where Set kind of not took on a fatherly role, but certainly admonished Ellen in a way that that Straff would have when Ellen like tried to leave the function and like make a stand or be like, I'm not staying here, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And Set's like, sit down, boy. We got stuff to do. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We're having dinner. We're having a good time. Chill out.
Yeah. Well, let's just act like adults about this,
Yeah.
Right.
Like, hear me out. I'll hear you out. Like, come on.
Right. Yeah.
So, everyone knows about the ATM now. So, that I think, that I think was a big driving factor for like why you would want to take over the city anyway. So, I don't know if that's going to play a part in maybe people
you make a good point.
Backing off or something. But yeah, I don't know.
No, I think you make a good point there, right? That takes away, not everybody, I guess. Jastes doesn't know yet, right?
With the Colas.
With the Colas. He's not, because he's not getting, his intelligence network is a little different.
It really is.
The Colas. Oh, the Colas.
We've eaten nothing but macaroni bread for 3 stinking days.
Yeah, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. Any predictions? Any expectations?
No clue. I have none. I'm going in open-minded.
Yeah, sweet.
We'll see what happens with Demo.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll see if more wells get poisoned. We're going to see when the assembly's going to meet again and how Ellen's going to get through all of that. We're going to see if Vin takes off for the north.
Where's the Kolas army right now?
They said a day away.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. So
I mean, yeah, things kind of building pretty good. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think we're certainly building up. I mean, we're getting ready to end. What would this be? Part 4?
Really?
I think, or is it part 3? I can't remember. Part 3. I think it's part 3.
Let me skip through my art to get to the.
Yeah. Part 3.
That makes more sense. Yeah, part 3,
yep.
Which is labeled King. Ooh, and then part 4.
And then 4 is Knives. Yeah, so we've got 3 chapters left. I think if we're ending a part.
That's one cast. That's one little cast there.
Through what?
That's one little podcast. I was abbreviating podcast to cast, which is like not a thing. Let's edit that out.
Yeah, I mean, pod would have been better for sure. So we got 3 chapters left in this part, and typically I feel like at the end of these parts there's usually something big happening. So that's what our next episode will be, chapters 36, 37, 38, and so rounding out that part 3 of the book, and we've officially, I think, have crossed over the halfway point for this book.
Wow, nice.
So that's very cool. So certainly time for Sanderson to start building up on that Sanderlanche, right? Like,
I think we're building the rumblings.
Yeah,
of
it. I think the snow is falling right now.
Yeah,
and it's piling up, and it just takes one howitzer blast in Alaska on the mountainside to get the avalanche going. That's all it takes.
And then we're in Sanderlanche Town.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorites. In terms of like Sanderlanches. It's a good one.
Nice.
So
very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for me, unless you got something.
Well, there's a couple shout outs. Shout outs to the moms. Thanks, moms.
Thank you, moms.
Actually had a super awesome shout out because the other day I got a text from your mom. She sent me this dope song. She said we got to learn this on guitar. Roger Miller, Chug a Lug.
Yeah, she sent that to me too.
Dude, really? She was just jamming out on Wednesday?
At some point.
Dude, awesome. And then she also sent me Oodalolly, which I was like, already know that on guitar, and I love that song. But I hadn't heard the Roger Miller song. I was like, the song rips.
Yeah.
So shout out to the moms. Really
shout out moms. Shout out to Lance. Lance, just still always a great listener, great fan. We appreciate you. Thanks for all your comments and stuff. And then one other, just Damaris.
Oh, dude,
thanks
Damaris.
so much. Listen to us and specifically said they enjoyed our listen, like their drives to and from work made them enjoyable, and they enjoyed the deep dive. So we really appreciate that. Thanks so much for listening, and hopefully you're enjoying now season 2.
Yeah,
and the Well of Ascension. So very cool. Thanks for hanging out.
Certainly. I also shout out. I got a text today from my buddy Chris. Started the podcast. He's on episode 4 today, so I don't know when we'll get to this, but he had a lot of great things to say, and it was really cool. So big shout out to all the friends and family, and just complete strangers for just checking us out and making it this far. That's pretty cool. So
very cool.
Huge shout out. Stay misty out there.
And if you guys have any comments, suggestions, just please drop us a line. Yeah. You want to tell us you hate it, you want to tell us you love it, whatever.
Yeah.
We're happy to hear it. And would love to interact with you. So
definitely.
But yeah, I think another episode down, and
in the chute.
looking forward. Let's round out part 3.
Yeah, that was a good Adka. Oh well, I just took podcasts. I took the Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Sackdop. Oh, sorry, I just took podcast and read it backwards. It's an abbreviation. It saves time.
Just Sackdop. Yeah, it saves time.
All right. Cooler. We love everybody.
Love everybody.
We'll see you later. Stay misty.
See you later. Shards and Shenanigans. Out.
Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Out. Everybody.